What do you make of him then? Someone who hasn't come up against him, looking at him as a character and a manager.
No, that of course then I have to talk about somebody who I don't know. It's difficult because then you take conclusions out of press, and that's difficult. I think he showed his qualities as a manager in the period of Dortmund.
Yeah.
Very successful. And okay, he get now the challenge to Liverpool. It's a big challenge for a manager, and we will see what happens.
You're obviously aware of it now, Ronald. I mean, have you watched his progress with Dortmund from afar? I mean, you were aware of what he was doing?
But I know about his history. I know that he was coaching Mainz and that he get the opportunity, but we have to understand that the manager will not win the game. The manager will not lose the game. It's the players who are involved in the final result. And I understand that you make a big story about Klopp in the press because it's Liverpool, it's Klopp, but I think it's a little bit too much.
Too much, yes, because it's too much about the nature of a manager, and not as we should be looking more at the players, you know. And perhaps it's a bit exaggerated, the attention he's getting.
Yeah, but on one side it's normal that because what I mentioned already about Liverpool is a big club. A lot of press are involved in big teams. That's normal, but still we have to understand that it's all depending the players. And of course, as a manager, you make the direction. You go left or you go right, and you hope that the players will follow you. But it's impossible to change, even as a new manager, to change the whole team, to change the ideas, the way in 1 or 2 weeks. You need more time, and that's the question.
You've been here now, in English football, 16 months. Are there things that you learned that you didn't realise that were coming that Klopp may now find, and he will have to adjust his managerial style? Have you had to adjust yours?
I tell him after the game.
But there are things, obviously, without revealing.
No, of course. If you're not involved in the Premier League, then you see things are different than maybe you expect before, and it's a tough competition. It's a strong competition. You have to be prepared. It's difficult because you have a lot of international players. They travel a lot. It's a tough season. You don't have a break, and you learn to manage that, and that's also important.
Is it different to everywhere else that we've been in?
It's different because you don't have a break, and that's different. You play in December. You play the 26th. You play 28th. And that's not normal.
I know you'll say talk to you after the game, but if there's one thing, if you're welcoming a new manager to the Premier League, one thing you would say to him about the Premier League?
No, maybe for me is that different than maybe is for him. But it's all about the person by himself, and I'm not the manager of Southampton to give Mr. Klopp advices. No, why? He's an experienced coach. He will do it by himself. I didn't get any advice from other managers when I came to Southampton why I will. No, but it's an experienced coach.
You might over a glass of wine afterwards, though.
Yes, of course. I look forward to meet Klopp. Yes, of course.
There are quite a few former Southampton players playing this weekend. People like Lovren and Lallana, Klein. I mean,
like last year.
Have you been surprised that they haven't done quite so well up there? They found it more difficult when they did so well here.
Yeah, but maybe it's more easier to do it well for Southampton than to do it well in Liverpool because the expectations are different, and they are part of the team. Klein was a fantastic right fullback. and Lallana was a great player, and still Lallana is a very good technical player. And Lovren, I think, is injured at the moment. Yeah, difficulties in the beginning, but all of them, they are good players for that level of Liverpool.
But they haven't played as well for Liverpool as they did.
Yeah, but I think that's the whole situation of the team, of the club, because they maybe they had some difficulties to have and to show the expectation what everybody expect from Liverpool. Then it's you can take individual players out of that, but the whole club, the whole team has really that difficulties. If that's not like that, you don't sack maybe the manager, because it's going wrong for the people who make that decision, not for me, because I'm out of that. I don't know, because to know and to see what happened, you have to be part of Liverpool, and I am not.
You said earlier on that it takes time and Klopp will need time. Could that be to your advantage tomorrow, rather than the hype that's still surrounding him?
Maybe, but still, Liverpool is a strong team. They play home. They need a result. That's normal.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on him, isn't
Yeah, but teams like Liverpool has always that pressure. If they play home, they need to win, and they need to fight for Champions League, and they need to fight for win titles. That kind of pressure are always in the big teams.
You're saying that, yes, again, there's greater expectation at Liverpool than, say, at Southampton, so that with the players...
But different expectations.
Different. But, and you talk about, is it the same with a coach, that in the sense that, if he was a coach at a club that wasn't as big as Liverpool, with that great tradition...
No, we put our pressure on it. We have our expectations, and maybe such so high as the expectations of Liverpool, because we had a great season last year, and we like to continue. We like it to make it even better. We know it's very difficult, but that's the target what we have inside. But outside, we don't have that expectation for the press. Of course not. But okay, they pay more money for the players. That's normal that they get more expectations and higher expectation than we have.
Ronald, can I just ask you, last season, obviously the game up at Anfield, you're first in charge. Is that always going to be a special memory for you? Because I know you lost
No, it's not a special. It's special to go to Anfield Road, because Anfield is a great place to play football, and there's history, that's atmosphere, and that's nice, but not special because it starts last year in Liverpool now.